Hello and welcome to the Christmas special for BeardClipper. For this Christmas video, I'm going to spend my time painting up my battle company, which will be used at some point next year when I finally get around to doing it. The battle company is based on the Warriors of Kana, so the Kana battle company, and I've come up with the name Kana Chameleons, which I thought was quite amusing. For that I have 3 Watchers of Kana, which were delivered to me today, and I will have 4 Haradrim warriors, which I will be painting up. And I have named these in a suitable fashion for a Kana Chameleons battle company. My leader is Boy George. I then have my sergeants David Bowie and George Michael, and then the Haradrim warriors are Tony Hadley, Simon Le Bon, Gary Neiman and Bernard Sumner. It should be a lot of fun painting these up because I want to make each one actually represent their pop star. So join me in this episode and enjoy, and if you enjoy this then please do let me know below. I will see you very shortly as I start to assemble these miniatures. Here we have one of the best things in this hobby, which is a brand new Virgin pack, blister pack of miniatures. I'm going to now assemble them. So the first thing to do is to take all of the flash off, which I will do using clippers and my hobby knife. I finished cleaning up the metal miniatures, and now what I'm about to do is hot glue gun them, which is here, heating up, to the tops of these bottle tops, so that then I can use my nice painting handle when I'm working on them. So I'm going to get that done. It is Christmas Eve now, morning. I don't know how much time I'm going to get, but I'm going to get them glued on and then have a think about the conversions I'm going to need to do to turn them into each of the pop stars. Now that I've glued the miniatures, hot glued them onto the bottle tops, I have the fun of doing some conversions. Now, as I've explained, the idea is to have people like Boy George, George Michael, David Bowie, and to either convert or paint them so that they're quite identifiable on the table. Now, this is quite a stretch goal for me. I'm not normally that talented at this sort of thing, but you've got to give things a go and you've got to have a little bit of fun. So, first of all, I am going to pick out someone for George Michael. Now, George Michael is a Watcher of Kana with twin blades. The same, actually, funnily enough, as David Bowie, Watcher of Kana with twin blades, while Boy George is a Watcher of Kana with bow. So, this little fella is going to have to be Boy George. There we are, put him to one side. This leaves these 2 other Watchers of Kana. I have taken just 1 pack of them, and so I've got the 3 different sculpts. One of these is going to be David Bowie, and one of these is going to be George Michael. Now, I've gone away and looked at some photographs of these different pop stars and picked out pictures that I want to use as the basis. This one here is my George Michael picture. And I have some Dark Ages sprues, which I bought a long time ago, way back when I thought that ruffians were never going to come back into stock. And there's one head in here. He's got a little bit too much of a beard, but I can maybe trim that down a bit. And I can put some aviator sunglasses on it. And so I think that one there is going to be my head for Boy George. And so now I need to decide, which one of these do I want to be Mr. George? And I think I am going to go for the one that's looking away. So that's going to be my task now. I'm going to cut off his head. Sorry, Mr. Kana. Clip out that head and attempt to marry the 2 up. I'm not going to do it on camera, mainly because I've no idea how I'm going to do it. But we shall return when it's done and you can have a look and see what that looks like. There's my intro attempt as it begins, and there will be some, well, quite a lot more done to that, but the head looks good. I'm pretty happy with it. It fits nicely on the model, and it's going to look very nice. So next up we have David Bowie. Now I'm a big Bowie fan, and we're going for Aladdin Sane, clearly, because, well, why wouldn't you? And for that one, it's going to be this model. And on the same sprue, which is quite nice, I don't have to go hunting very far, there's a guy who has no beard and some hair and is a little bit kind of odd looking, Bowie being odd looking. So I'm going to go for that. So that's going to be the same job. I will show you the tools that I'm using actually. I have a razor saw, which I use a little bit. I have my broken clippers, which are the ones that are on the thumbnail for the channel, and I have my new clippers, which are also Hurons and very nice indeed. So I'm going to turn the camera off again because there's no point in making you watch me struggle, and I will be back when I am done. My David Bowie is, well, it has a head on, a new head, so that's good. And finally, for the heroes, we have your man Boy George. What a legend he was. And that is going to have to be done on this particularly awesome sculpt, and I have no idea at the moment which head I'm going to use. Where do you find one of those in 28mm? I mean, where do you find one of those in real life, frankly? What a legend, as I just said. So now I'm going to crack on with that, see what I can come up with, and I will be back when I have made some progress. After a little bit of digging through my bits box, I'm sure a lot of you have those, broken models, previous conversions, donor models, etc, etc, I have found a Haradrim warrior. Used to have a shield, doesn't have a shield anymore. Who knows where I got it from, but I think I can take the head off this, put it onto this Watcher of Kana, and then sculpt on a nice hat, and I think that will do Boy George quite proud. So let's give that a go. And so the final conversion is done. I'm not going to bother converting up the warrior levels unless they do jump to become heroes, and then I'll do some conversion, but I will paint them in ways that match photographs I've found of the particular pop stars that they are representing. Including a change, I've decided to swap prints in because, well, what would it be without prints? Now to leave the heads to dry, and then I'll come back, do some green stuffing and do some priming. This probably will not be until tomorrow if I get time on Christmas Day, as it's getting late now, and I'm going to need to get on with my rest of my Christmas Eve routine, such as watching Die Hard, which is clearly a Christmas movie. So I will see you in the next update of this amazing Christmas special, which I've already done twice as much as I thought I would get done, so that's very good. It is now Boxing Day. I did no hobbying at all on Christmas Day, which is as it should be, and I'm back at the table just briefly to work on these battle companies. So first of all, Boy George. And Boy George has a hat, and that's, apart from the colouring, some of the painting, that's about the only thing I'm going to do to distinguish him. And to make the hat, I have a very, very tiny washer, which you can see there, and I'm going to be gluing that on the top of his head, which you can't see because I'm a klutz. There we are. So that's going to go on the top of his head. With a little bit of super glue, that can be glued on there. I'm going to come back to that with the green stuff. I'll build the top of the hat. At the moment it looks like he's got a halo. So that's the first conversion. And actually I don't have to do very much else converting for these. I just have to do the hat for Boy George, and the rest will be done with painting and colours. So that's a little bit of hobbying for Boxing Day morning. I would probably do some more, but I don't know how much time I'm going to get. I will be finishing this up today as the Christmas special and publishing this later as a little bit of an extra on the Thursday, but this project obviously will not get done over my Christmas special, which is a shame, but that's just how it is. It's been a really nice Christmas. Having said there was going to be no other conversions, I've actually realised that our man George Michael here, this chap, he needs to have some aviator sunglasses to, well, make it obvious that it is this young handsome chap that he is pretending to be, or actually is, because obviously George Michael was a Watcher of Kana in real life. So I have got the smallest amount of green stuff, which I have just mixed up or squidged up, and I'm going to attempt to make that very flat using a flat tool and cut that out into as much of a circle as I possibly can do. And I haven't yet worked out how I'm going to do that. I was thinking maybe a straw end, but typically I've got loads and loads of stuff laying around and I can't find any straws. So I'm going to go looking for those, get these put as flat as I can, and then I will come back when I have achieved whatever it is I have achieved, and I will show you. After surprisingly little swearing, I've managed to get aviators and a microphone on George Michael. So there we are. I will let that to go off for a little while because yeah, it's cold up here, and we'll return to do some priming and painting hopefully later today, but we shall see. The green stuff is going off. I've just very quickly cleaned up the plastic miniatures which I'll be using, and so now I am going to do a primer coat on all of these. Now this is where I really wish that my airbrush had already arrived, because that is where it will really shine. It'd be very useful and make it much easier, but for now it's going to have to be hairy stick. I'm not going to bore you with that, so I'm going to get started and I will show you when I am finished. And there you are. I have primed each of these miniatures. I will now leave them to dry and we'll come back and put colour on them at another day. I think that probably does wrap up this Christmas special video though. I'll go and edit this now and get this published. So yeah, onwards with the project though. To complete this Christmas special, I'm going to do a very short what's new with my awesome hobby related gifts from Angela. So first of all, we have some 1 to 72nd classic British paratroopers which will be made up, and that will go very well with the rest of the models I've got there for my chain of command. She also picked me up some Rust and Corrosion from Vallejo, which is just brilliant, a pigment set, and that is very useful for the tanks and the aeroplanes that I do. So not that you've seen any of those yet because I haven't really been doing very much of them, but that will prompt me to get cracking on that. The next thing is this awesome, and I mean awesome, crop circle for 1 to 72nd, and this is for the model railway. I've had that on my wish list for a very long time, but it's the sort of thing that you're just not going to buy for yourself for some reason. I don't know why. However, having been bought it, I'm really pleased. It's brilliant. It's going to be a really fun little scene to make. And again, maybe that will prompt me to do the model railway, though I doubt that will be this year or even next year. It won't be this year. I doubt it will be next year, but it might do. I may get a start. The final amazing gift, and this really is serendipitous, which is a brilliant word that I've been practicing saying, is this. Airbrushing for model railway modelers even. Airbrushing for railway modelers. I can say serendipitous, but I can't say that. Anyway, the reason why that is so amazingly timed is last week I finally pulled the trigger and ordered my own airbrush and accessories, which has arrived in London and is on its way to me via the courier. And that was obviously bought well before I decided to go for the airbrush, so Angela was very pleased that I did. And now I have a book to read, and hopefully next week I will have the hardware with which to learn. So that's very exciting, and I will bring you along on that adventure as well. So that will do for this Christmas special. Thank you very much for watching. Please do subscribe if you have not done so. Please comment below if there's anything you'd like to say. And I would like to wish all of my subscribers an amazing number. I'm blown away. A very happy Christmas and a wonderful new year. And I will see you again soon on BeardClipper.